Welcome to today's explainer. So, have you ever actually stopped and wondered what separates a good supervisor from a truly great leader? I mean, it's not just about years of experience or having a fancy degree on your wall. It's really about the specific, tangible skills you bring to the table every single day. Today, we're going to transform you from a supervisor into a genuine leader by building up your core management toolkit. We'll be breaking down 10 absolutely essential management skills drawn straight from top-tier leadership research. So grab your notebook because we are about to sketch out the literal blueprint for your leadership journey. Let's get into it. Okay, let's dive right in by anchoring our explainer with a really classic quote from Peter Drucker. He said, "Management is doing things right. Leadership is doing the right things." And honestly, this hits the nail on the head. These essential skills we're looking at today, they bridge that critical gap between just organizing things day to day and actually setting a visionary direction. Being a manager isn't just about being the boss, right? It's about making sure your team is both doing things right and doing the right things. To put this into perspective, think of your role as a manager kind of like a car. On one side, you've got the fancy exterior, the job titles, the authority, maybe even that coveted corner office. But then look at the internal engine. This represents your core management skills, the ones that actually drive relationships, problem solving, and real results. Without that robust internal engine, a fancy exterior of authority is ultimately going to get you nowhere. You absolutely need that horsepower under the hood to actually drive your team toward success. So here's our quick roadmap for the explainer. We'll look at Pillar 1, People and Influence, Pillar 2, Strategy and Vision, and Pillar 3, Execution and Operations. Then we'll wrap up with the management toolkit and look at some real-world masters. Starting us off with Pillar 1, People and Influence. This is the absolute heart of management. Let's break down the skills in this first pillar. First up, we've got human skills, which is really all about empathy and balance. Imagine a scenario where one of your team members is totally struggling with deadlines, while another is crushing it but feels completely burned out. A skilled manager has to balance this, right? You address the underperformer with constructive feedback while protecting the high performer's workload. Next are communication skills. Think of this as the bridge to understanding. If a marketing manager is pitching a huge campaign to the execs, they also have to make sure the creative team completely understands how to execute it. And finally, leadership skills. Remember, true leadership is about influence, not just authority. The source points to Satya Nadella at Microsoft as a perfect example. He totally revamped the company's culture just by focusing on empathy and collaboration, which drove massive innovation as a result. And here's a super actionable pro tip for you. Practice active listening and schedule regular one-on-one meetings. I know it sounds incredibly simple, but it is a real game changer. Listening is just as critical as speaking clearly. Great leaders intentionally connect on a personal level to build trust and check in on team well-being. Scheduling these one-on-ones builds the exact kind of trust that acts as the foundation for our next pillar. Moving on to Pillar 2, Strategy and Vision. This is where we zoom out to look at the big picture. Within this strategic pillar, we have 3 core skills. First is conceptual skills, which means using a strategic lens. Take a product manager launching a new feature, for example. They have to foresee how this launch is going to impact user experience, sales, and future development, all at the exact same time. It's a highly holistic view. Next is problem solving. Look, every manager hits roadblocks. When a logistics company faces major supplier delays, a great manager doesn't panic. They tackle it head-on, negotiating with alternative vendors and rerouting deliveries to soften the blow. And third, decision-making. This is where the rubber meets the road. Choosing wisely takes a solid mix of data and intuition. Imagine a retail manager noticing a drop in sales. They'd use data to spot poor inventory placement, rely on their gut to make swift adjustments, and ultimately turn those sales around. Now, what's really interesting about this is the mindset shift it demands. Problems are actually opportunities in disguise. The source explicitly points out that you've got to clearly define a problem before jumping straight to solutions. If you just react, you're basically just putting out fires. But if you take the time to diagnose the root cause, that roadblock suddenly becomes a massive opportunity to permanently improve your workflow or your product. And speaking of making choices, let's look at a pretty striking contrast when it comes to decision-making. On one hand, you have a delayed decision. This literally paralyzes momentum and compounds your issues. On the other hand, you have a wrong decision. Now, I know, nobody wants to be wrong, but a wrong decision actually provides a tangible learning opportunity to adjust and iterate. The source makes a fascinating point here. A delayed decision is often so much worse than a wrong one. You just have to keep the momentum going. Decide, learn, and adapt. All right, Pillar 3, Execution and Operations. This is all about bringing those grand strategies to life.
So here are the 4 skills making up our execution engine. First, technical skills. This means really understanding the tools of your trade. Like a marketing manager mastering Google Analytics to spot trends, it builds serious credibility. Second is time management, or making every second count. Think of an event planner creating meticulous schedules and assigning specific roles so a huge event runs flawlessly. Third is directing and oversight. This is all about guiding and monitoring team activities, kind of like a construction manager doing site inspections to keep safety and timelines on track. And finally, adaptability, thriving in fast-paced change. A brilliant example from the source here is a restaurant owner who rapidly pivoted to online delivery during the pandemic. That sheer adaptability is exactly what kept their business afloat.
So, the crucial point to take away here: to execute effectively, you need tangible systems in place. Use time blocking to manage your day. Set crystal clear expectations so your oversight is actually fair and measurable. And above all else, embrace continuous learning so you stay highly adaptable. These are the daily habits that keep everything running smoothly, even under intense pressure.
Let's move to the management toolkit. This is about building these abilities intentionally over time.
Here is your 5-step toolkit for real development. Step 1 is education, getting into courses and workshops to learn the underlying theory. Step 2 is experience. Volunteer for projects, big or small, just to get that hands-on feel. Step 3 is mentorship, shadowing experienced managers to learn from both their major successes and their painful failures. Step 4 is feedback. You want to actively seek input from your peers and your team to uncover your blind spots. And step 5 is practice. Use every single challenge as an opportunity to practice mindfulness under pressure. Because remember, management is a continuous journey of learning, not some final destination of perfection.
Finally, real-world masters. Let's see how this impact scales up to the Fortune 500 level. And this brilliantly illustrates what happens when you maximize these specific skills. Take Sundar Pichai of Google, right? He's renowned for his human skills, fostering just incredible collaboration across a massive global tech company. Then you have Indra Nooyi, the former CEO of PepsiCo, demonstrating top-tier visionary leadership. She connected with your teams and pushed heavily for sustainability, completely transforming the company. And finally, Elon Musk at SpaceX, showing ultimate conceptual skills by thinking way beyond conventional boundaries with the mission to colonize Mars. These leaders prove for sure that the skills we've unpacked today are the exact tools used to reshape culture and fuel global innovation. Well, this brings us to the end of our explainer, and I really want to leave you with a final provocative question to think about. Which management skill are you going to work on next? You've got the blueprint, you've got the 3 pillars, and you've got the pro tips. But don't try to master all 10 overnight. Just pick one habit this week, maybe it's active listening or giving time blocking a shot, and start transforming yourself from a supervisor into a true architect of excellence. Be sure to download the slide deck and checklist to start leading with real intent. Thanks so much for exploring this with me today, and keep building that engine.